they could play it. Okay, maybe they could use it. And they could also maybe use an image. I mean, a TV could display an image, but again, the primary format of a TV and its common sense will be video. Now let's talk about radio. Could a radio use text? Okay, maybe the journalist could read the text. Could they use an image? That's like very unlikely. So the primary format of a radio obviously will be an audio file, which is referred to as a soundbite. Could a radio use a video B-roll? Yeah, yes. A radio could extract an audio file from a video. If I send a video of an interview of someone to radio, right now there are plenty of softwares everywhere which are free when you can extract that interview, that audio, and so from the video interview I transform that into an audio file, and so as a radio I can use that. So all of this, I believe, make total sense. I'm not, as I said, teaching you anything here you don't already know. But why is it important? Well, it is important because, again, you are in charge of guaranteeing the media coverage of your organization. So then, if you want to be efficient, well, maybe there are things you don't do, and maybe there are things you do. So maybe, for instance, you don't send a press release to a radio. Maybe you send an audio file to a radio. Maybe you don't send a press release to a TV. Maybe you send a video to a TV. You can add your press release as a background information, etc. But I mean, if I'm sending you, I'm a communication manager, you are a TV, and I'm sending you a press release begging you to hear my story, to actually publish something, to actually contribute to the media coverage of my organization, well, I may have a problem. I may have a problem because, well, you know, I'm providing text to a TV. Maybe if I want to increase the likeliness of that media to use my story, I should provide them exactly the type of format they need, they use, which is, in that case, video. And not any type of video, we'll go back to that. So maybe if I want to increase the media coverage of my bishop or priest or whatever in the radios, maybe I do something extremely complicated, something which will take days, years to learn how to do. Maybe I will go to my priest or my bishop, etc., and I'm going to push the button recording, and I'm going to say, okay, well, so what was that event again? Can you tell me what was that event? Ah, okay, thank you. Maybe I'm going to send that to the radios now. Extremely complicated to do, I mean, yeah. So you need to, if you want to be efficient at being a communication manager, you need to go back to those basics. You need to have that in mind. There are different types of medias, and they are craving for certain form of content, format of content. Your job is to provide them the content they need, the format of content they need. Okay? So you will never have TV coverage if you are not providing video. You will be very unlikely to have radio coverage if you don't provide audio files, which, as we just saw, are extremely complicated to create. So let's do a case study style stuff. So that thing here we are doing is an event, right? It's a seminar, whatever, etc. It's an event. We have cameras for pictures. We have videos. We have cameras for videos. And we have pen and papers. So technically, at the end of such an event, the person which is in charge of promoting that event, that thing here we are doing here, like the chairman of a peer group doing a seminar in Ghana, blah, 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 blah. Well, at the end of the seminar, we need to end up with a press release, text. He's doing that, text. By the way, he's so good that he will translate it. He will not only issue it in English. He will use ChatGPT, the online services, etc. He will find a way to translate it in French, maybe in Twi, whatever. Then we'll have pictures, because again, no one wants to read a newspaper or a website with only text. So we'll send pictures to illustrate. And I will explain why it's important to send pictures, because there are different reasons why it's very important to send your own pictures. Then we'll have videos. They are shooting videos. So right now they are live, but I mean, they're going to package a video, and that video will be a B-roll. We will explain later what is a B-roll. And then, based on that B-roll, but based on the video B-roll, in the video B-roll there will be an interview of me. So they will come with a camera and say, okay, so can you explain what is it you did today? Who are you and what is it you did? So in the front of the camera I say, well, so I'm Nicolas Pompil-Mona, and I was here to do a media relation training, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that video, we can also extract the audio from that video to send to the radios. Or we do that very complicated thing. In fact, sorry, if you don't mind, he's currently recording. He could take an extract of what I'm saying right now, sending to a radio, and the radio will have something they can use. Yes? All the phones have that thing. Okay. So at the end of that event, you're supposed to have text, image, video, audio. When you have that, you cater for newspapers, websites, TV, and radios. Now the only additional thing you can do is to translate all of this, because you want to address the entirety of the media coverage. So not all the media in Ghana, for instance, are English speaking. You have media in Twi, right? Yeah. And probably I'm missing a few other languages. So maybe you're going to translate, but I heard that Twi was mostly oral, right? Yeah. But again, so then you can have Twi for radios. Okay, so you go to your bishop or whatever, and you do two things. You tell the bishop, okay, so he's a Ghanaian bishop, he speaks English and Twi, right? Okay, so what happened today in Kumasi, whatever. Okay, so he's answering in English, and now you're asking him to answer the exact same question, but in Twi. And then you end up with two files. And you send the English file to the English radio and the Twi file to the Twi radio. Does all of this make sense so far? Yes. So it's not complicated. It's not. I'm not like teaching you how to build a rocket to go to the moon. All of this you already know. The rest is just making sense, you know? Okay? Okay. So again, as communication managers, if you want to be efficient, that's how you need to think. Because in fact, and you know that because it just happened that I realized today that you guys have two hats really, right? You are journalists for the media in your diocese, in your area, etc., and also in charge of communication, right? So what I mean by that is that it's in fact quite unusual what you are doing and the way you are functioning, because usually you are either a communication manager or a journalist or a reporter, if you wish. But it's very unusual to have communication managers which are also managing a media, like as a reporter. And you guys are doing those two things simultaneously, if I understood properly. Yes? So maybe you are spending more time working on your newspaper or on your own media than focusing on increasing the outreach, increasing the communication externally of your diocese or whatever. But again, here the workshop is about media relations. The workshop is not about how am I creating content for my media. How am I, the discussion is about how am I guaranteeing media coverage about the activity of my organization as widely as possible. So I'm talking to communication managers here. I'm not talking to reporters. But as reporters, because you also have that hat, you do appreciate and understand what I'm telling you. Some of you are managing websites, some of you are managing radio, some of you are managing TVs. So you understand the type of media, you understand the question of format, etc. Now, when I say your job is to guarantee media coverage, in fact, your job is to facilitate the work of the journalist. You need to make the life of journalist easy. And that's why you need to have in mind to provide them the type of format they want. Okay, so we can move to the following slide. So we were discussing so far about the different type of media and the different type of format each media actually consume and is using. Now we need to discuss about the production of that content. You will see that in terms of media relations, the methodology or the three-stage or three-step are production, distribution, monitoring. And you can write that down because that's a golden rule, if you wish. It's about production, distribution, monitoring. And obviously I'm referring to production of content, distribution of content, monitoring of content. Production, distribution, monitoring. So we saw that we have different type of media. We saw that each media consumes a specific format of content. And now we need to discuss about, well, how do I produce that content? Content production. Okay? Next. Okay, so in a nutshell, the type of format we are discussing are text, image, video, audio. Okay? That is how I cater to the entire media landscape, all the type of media. How do I produce text? Well, the way I communicate with the media as a communication manager, the format I'm using is press release. Press release is not article, is not opinion piece, is not post, is not... Press release is a very specific format. Press release is an international format. If you send to a journalist a text, you put on the top press release, and what is below is not in the format, in the agreed format of an actual press release, you will be seen as unprofessional and you will be discarded. Journalists are expecting a specific format. A press release, again, is not an article, is not an opinion piece, it's not a post, it's not a tweet, it's not whatever. A press release follows a very specific structure. If you do not follow that structure, any journalists which are going to receive your press release with 10 seconds will judge you. Say, well, those guys, that organization, they don't know what they're doing. And so, keep in mind, journalists are receiving tens, if not hundreds, of press releases. If you appear not to be professional enough, they are not. They have other. It's not like they are fighting to get content. They are receiving plenty of content, and each day they have to choose. You're going to use your story, or the story of the other organization. If you are not providing them what they need, if you are not making their life easy, I'm speaking to journalists again here, so we know. So, how do I structure a press release? How do I write a proper press release? So you see here headline, subheadline, date line, which is city, country, date, body, quote, media contact, boilerplate, and then we have to consider the language, and I'm going to tell you then after that why to use a Word document format. So the structure of the press release starts with an headline. So you have headline, subheadline, you have the date line, which includes the city, the country, and the date. You have the actual body of the press release. In the body of the press release, you usually, 90% of the time, you have a quote, which is a sentence of someone talking. So maybe the bishop declared that, the cardinal said that, etc. Then you have the media contact, and then you have the boilerplate. The headline is obviously the title. The title needs to be short. The title needs to be impactful. The title needs to be straight to the point. So here again, it's common sense. So I will give you a headline. I'll give you a headline, which is a problem. AFDB signed MOU with ISDB at ADBHQ. This is the headline. I am a communication manager which is stupid enough to send that headline to journalists. I can repeat that headline. AFDB signed MOU with ISDB at ADBHQ. This is the headline. I will translate that headline for you. The African Development Bank signed Memorandum of Understanding with Islamic Development Bank at ASEAN Development Bank headquarters. So, as a communication professional, you know, communication is convention. You cannot assume everyone knows what, for instance, SECAM means. You cannot assume everyone knows what SECAM means. So if I give you all, if I task you to give me a list of all the abbreviation acronyms you are using on a daily basis, I'm going to end up with 50 acronyms. But then you are communicators. You cannot assume that the people which are reading your piece, starting with the journalist, are using the same acronym as you are, know everything you know. So you cannot have a headline which you cannot even have an headline which contains the word SECAM. You cannot, it's just, no one knows what it is. And again, please, I beg you, think about evangelization. Evangelization, it is not talking to already Catholic people. They're already Catholics. It is to be able to reach the people which maybe doesn't know us yet. And you don't do that by using acronyms only the Catholics knows, and you don't do that by only communicating or having media coverage in already Catholic media, because only the Catholic people are reading the Catholic media. Yes? So you have a headline. So that headline needs to be short and impactful. You have to keep in mind that journalists are receiving a lot of press releases. I'm sure some of you are receiving 10 of press releases a day. And so you're receiving that via email. And so you need to make sure you have a headline which is impactful enough so when the journalist is receiving the email, is willing to open it, to click on it. Okay? So not too long. Don't use acronym. Start with that. It will be already a good start. And think, when you are drafting a press release, draft the headline at the end. Write your press release, and at the end, and here, by the way, here you have a huge advantage. You are a journalist, or you are working also as a reporter. That means you have the brain which will allow you to find out what is the most impactful headline you can find. What is the story there? As a journalist, I mean, most of the time, sometime at least, the work of a PR professional is to put himself in the shoes of the journalist. Well, you have those two hats. Okay, so if you put three headlines, you create three different headlines, and then you read them again, you say, well, if I was a journalist, which one would be the more appealing? Will you pick that one? Then you have a sub-headline. The sub-headline is always a sentence which is coming from the body. So you read your press release, and you will see in the body of the press release there is a sentence. That sentence.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from unique natural herbs to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums.
Lumen Christi TV, truly Catholic.
Is about agriculture, and it's a 3 billion investment in Kenya, whatever. It's an additional piece of information. Yes? It's bringing to the journalist, say, oh, you know, there is more. Then you have the dateline, country, and date. And again, this is we are spot on in the international format of press releases. So you have the city, so it will be Accra, Ghana, and the date. As a journalist, I'm a journalist at BBC London, at Al Jazeera in Qatar or whatever. I need to know where that thing is coming from and when it has been issued. So it's coming from Accra, or maybe it's coming from Kumasi, or from whatever, and it has been issued at that specific date. Then I'm entering into the body of the press release, or the actual text of the press release. The first paragraph of the press release will be a repeat, I should say a development of the headline. The first paragraph is, so if my headline is, African Development Bank sign a memorandum, etc., the first paragraph will be, today in Shanghai, the African Development Bank signed a memorandum of understanding on agriculture with the Islamic Development Bank. The event was held at the ASEAN Development Bank headquarters and in presence of the Minister of Agriculture of Kenya, whatever. The first paragraph is the development of the headline. It's just I'm taking my headline. My headline, for instance, doesn't use articles. In my headline, there is no the or e, or an, etc. An headline is a contraction of a sentence, right? Well, my first paragraph will be that headline, but like expanded, like I'm giving it more consistency. But the information is the same. It's just I'm making it more. I'm putting more muscle, if you wish. Then somewhere in my press release, usually after the middle, like in the second lower part of the press release, I have the quote. And so the quote is, we are very happy, we have signed that partnership, whatever, said the president of the African Development Bank. Or said the bishop of whatever, or said the cardinal or whatever, or says the priest or whatever. Okay? So the journalist can quote the responsible executive, whoever which was in charge of that thing. By the way, the quote can be that sentence you will record with your phone. You can go to the person and say, well, can you read the quote for me? Just read it, and then that quote will become your audio file you're going to send to the radios. Now, at the end of the body of the press release, you're going to have the media contact. The media contact is, communication manager, John, whatever, email address, phone number. Why? Because the journalists which are going to receive that press release may want to ask you more information. He may want to receive a picture, another picture. He may want to ask for an interview. He may want to contact you next month because next month he's going to work on another piece and he wants to have a few more information. So your job, again, it's media relation. So people, journalists need to be able to contact you. I'm a journalist in Accra and I want to know what is happening in the diocese of Kumasi, whatever. Who do I contact? Do I even know who to contact? So you need to make yourself available. I'm a journalist in BBC in London, and I'm preparing a piece about religion and the Catholic Church in Ghana, etc. I would love to discuss with whoever is in charge in the remote area of Ghana, etc. How do I contact? Who do I contact? I told you at the beginning of the discussion, browse my name on Google, etc. I could ask you right now to pick up your phone again, go on Google, and enter media contact diocese of whatever it is that says. You could just say, you could just put yourself in the shoes of a journalist which is trying to contact you. How exactly easy is it going to be for that guy? Are you reachable? Like not reachable, but is it how easy is it to find you? You are communication managers of some organizations, right? You want the journalist to be able to reach you. So So by consistently adding your phone, your name, your phone, your email at the end of all the press releases, you will spread the news that, okay, well, when it's come to the Diocese of, I'm here. You need an interview, you need a picture, you want to attend one of our events, whatever. I'm here to serve you. Because that's very much what you are here for. You are here to facilitate the work of the journalist. You are at their service, really. So obviously, you need to be contactable. They need to know you exist, or at least they need to know how they can reach you, right? Then after the media contact, you have the boilerplate. So the boilerplate is a very specific barbaric term, but that's a term in the industry. But you can call it, if you wish, the about section. About section is, by the way, maybe it's the first time you're receiving a press release from us. Maybe you don't know us. Here's who we are. So we are the Diocese of blah blah blah, and situated southwest of Ghana with a population of blah blah blah, and the name of the Archbishop is blah blah blah, and whatever. That's the about section. Maybe you don't know us. Maybe it's the first time you're receiving a press release from us. Here's who we are. By the way, here's our Facebook page. Here's our website. Here's what makes us specific. We are the most populated province of Ghana. We are the whatever describes you and define you. We explain here. So it's just a paragraph, which is an about section about who you are. Then obviously, so here you have the structure of a press release. Again, headline, sub-headline, date line, which includes city, country, date. You have the body, you have a quote, you have the media contact, you have the boilerplate. If you do not follow that structure, there is, I'm going to rephrase it. There is only one way to draft a press release. There is only one structure, and it's global. In China, in the US, in Brazil, in France, in Moscow, there is an international standard for press release. If you deviate from that, you will not be taken seriously by journalists. Again, a press release is not an article, is not an opinion piece, it is not a post, it's a press release. Now, that press release, after you produce it, you can ask yourself about the languages. Okay, so you end up with a press release in English. Maybe you draft it in English initially. Well, you may say, well, in my country or in that specific province, the media landscape is in 3 languages. So we have radios in English, we have radios in Twi, and we have radios in whatever other language. Okay, well then, I will produce content in those 3 languages because I want to be able to guarantee the largest possible media coverage. I want to address the entirety of the media landscape. So you may ask yourself, after you produce that initial press release, do I need to translate it? In which language? It depends on, how important it is for you. What is the importance of that other part of the media landscape, etc. So, for instance, in Uganda, so in Africa there are 16 countries which are out of the 54. There are 16 countries which has at least 2 official languages or more. At least 2 official languages or more. 16. Uganda, for instance, 50% of the media landscape is in English, but the rest, the other 50%, is in a language called Luganda. It's L, Luganda. In Senegal, you have French, but you have also Wolof, and you have newspapers, TVs, and radios in Wolof. Morocco, Tunisia are French and Arabic. Ethiopia is English and Amharic. Kenya, Tanzania, English and Swahili. Rwanda, English and Kinyarwanda, etc., etc. There are plenty of countries on the continent where, if you consider the entire media landscape, you look at all the radio, all the TV, all the newspapers, all the websites, you don't have only one language, you have plenty of other language. So depending on what you are trying to achieve, you need to ask yourself, okay, that piece of content I just created, that press release, do I need to translate it? And if yes, in which language? To be able to address the entirety of the media language. Now, one of the most stupid things a communication manager can do, I will repeat that. One of the most stupidest things a communication manager can do is to send this press release to a journalist as a scan or a PDF. So if, as a journalist, you receive some of those, you know, you know what I mean by that. But there is something more stupid you can do. In fact, the more stupid things you can do, the really more stupid thing you can do is to send a press release as a scan on a Friday afternoon. That's the most stupid thing you can do. Yeah. But plenty of people are still doing it. So obviously the best way to distribute a press release is as a Word document or simply in the body of the email. Simply the text in the body of the email. That's it. So it is either a Word document or in the body of the email or both. But I mean, obviously, and here again, I'm not talking only to a communication manager, I'm talking to reporters, etc. So you have been on the other side of the, I mean, you have those two hats. Obviously, the content, the text you are sending needs to be copyable. You need to be able to copy-paste it. No reporter had the time to retranscript your press release, which you scan. You send an image and the guy has to retranscript everything. No one has the time to do that. No one wants to. These journalists, they are not working for you. They are not working for you. They don't have the time. If you don't provide them something which is easily digestible, which they can use easily, etc., they're going to move to the other press release. They have plenty. You know that. So you need to obviously, when you produce your press release, to make it available in a way which is easily usable by the journalist. And so Word format or the body, copy-paste in the body of the email. So that's how you produce that first type of content, which is text. The second type of content is image. So I told you a little bit earlier, I will tell you why it is important to add an image to your press release. And you may think, and I mentioned that it's because no one wants to read a newspaper with only text, and no one wants to read a website with only text. Okay. But there is something else. If you do not send an image to a journalist, he may take upon himself to choose one, to find one, to pick one. And guess what? You may not like it. You may not like it. He may put the picture of the predecessor of the cardinal, or the predecessor of the bishop, or a picture from another diocese, or a picture from another country, or you're going to end up with an article about the Pope, and the picture will be John Paul II. No. If you don't send a picture, the journalist may choose his own picture, and you may not like it. So that's good reason enough to actually send your own pictures. By the way, as communication managers of the Catholic Church in Ghana, I hope you already have 1, 2, 3, 4, a portfolio of official pictures. You need to have on your computer, on your phone, ready to use at all time, the official picture of your bishop, the official picture of your cardinal, of your archbishop, etc., etc. And a picture maybe of a iconic church in your area, or something which define or show the specificity of your part of Ghana, right? So you need to have a portfolio of official pictures, which you can use like almost of the time. I saw you. I know. But I saw you. Now, that picture you can attach as a press release. You can attach as an attachment to your email, right? You can also use online shared software which are free, like WeTransfer. I'm sure you know, you're familiar with WeTransfer, right? So it's quite easy to send. One thing which is critically important, obviously, is to be very mindful about the quality of the picture. And so here I'm talking about two things. Again, you're communication managers. You are not here to send to the media a picture of your cardinal which had been taken when he had his finger in his nose. Or maybe he had a fly on his forefront. Or maybe he was just coughing, he was, you know, whatever. That's not your job. Your job is to send the media the perfect picture. With the cross straight, with the jacket straight, with etc. That's what you are here to do. So there is the quality of the picture in that sense, but there is also the quality of the file itself. And what I mean by that is that even at APO, even working with some of the largest multinationals in the world, sometimes, like 3-4 times a year, we're still receiving pictures from big corporations. Say, well, here's a picture of our CEO. And we will see the picture. It's like it's a picture of ID card, the size of it. So you need picture which is good quality. You need something which is at the very least 500 mega, right? So 500 mega is okay. Any website will be able to use that. Any newspaper will be able to use that, etc. So you need to protect the image of the organization you are representing. I will do a side note on this. As it's not in relation with content production, but kind of. As communication managers, when you are organizing an interview, so when your bishop, priest, cardinal, archbishop, whatever, Episcopal conference is whatever, is having an interview, it is your job to make sure the person which is interviewed, which you are representing, looks good. That's your job. So I'm saying that because I feel that it's not maybe clear for everyone. If a camera is coming right now to interview me, and you are my communication manager, and I'm sitting, so the journalist is there, etc. And we're going to have that interview. I'm the person interviewed, and I'm like this. Your job. I don't see that. I don't see it. The fly here, I don't see it. The fact that I'm not dressed properly, I don't see it. Job to come to me and say, excuse me, 1 minute. Okay. It is your job. If the cross is when your guy is sitting, the cross is like here, whatever. No, it is your job that the cross is straight. It has to look like perfect. And it is up to you to do that, to make that happen. So you are entitled, it is expected from you, that's your role, to make sure eventually the content which is produced, the pictures which is taken, the video which is taken, looks perfect. If you don't do it, who is going to do it? Okay, so when you, so let's go back to image and content production. When you send an image to a journalist, you need always to associate your image to a caption. So a caption is a description of the picture. Now, a very easy way to do that is to use the caption as the name of the file. You can do that if the caption is not too long. Okay? So the name of the file will be Bishop Emmanuel Badejo.jpg. You get my point, right? So that's an easy way to not making mistakes, right? But in any case, all the pictures need to come with a caption. Why? Because if the picture doesn't come with a caption, you see, for instance, on that program, on that thing, my first name is spelled with a H. My first name does not contain a H. I'm Nicolas, French thing, not UK thing. Nicolas in French has no H. So if you send a picture of your bishop or whatever, if you don't spell it literally, if you don't spell it for the journalist, you may not like what they're going to write. And as journalists, when you are receiving a picture, it is not your job to guess who is the guy on the left and who is the guy on the right. I'm a journalist, I'm receiving a picture, there are 3 guys on the picture. And okay, so in the press release there are 3 people which are mentioned. How do I know which one is who? My readers, the people which are going to read my newspaper or my website, etc., when they're going to see that picture, they would like to know, well, who is the guy? So the picture is, the picture of Nicolas and Ben. I mean, you cannot. I mean, you're gonna have to give a clue. So Nicolas is the beautiful one.
And the ugly one is Ben.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You know? No, you're gonna have to say 2 things. You're gonna have to say from left to right, and you're gonna have to spell because it's Nicolas without a H, for instance. Okay, and maybe you have to put the position also. You cannot ask people to guess, because if you ask people to guess, they may guess wrong, and when it's published, it's published. Okay, so when you provide a picture with a caption. A caption is a description, and a description is an actual description, like from left to right. Nicolas Pompili-Mognard, founder and chairman of FAPO Group, with Ben, blah 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 blah, etc. etc. Okay? So that's it for image. Let's move to video. So when we discuss about the type of media, etc., I mentioned earlier that TVs are using video, but not any type of video. They are using a very specific type of video. Which one of you are working for TVs or used to work for TVs? Which one of you have experience with TVs? No one?
Yeah, they wind up on the terrorists that video.
Okay, well, anyway. Okay, so let's go back to the basics. If you think about an Instagram video, okay, it's a video, right? Do you think a TV, like a news program, will be able to use that video? Okay. So sometimes there are things which are more simple than we think. We think when we think about it, we don't know. So we think they are very complicated. In fact, they are very simple. A TV station, all TV stations are different, right? If I go to Joy TV, whatever, Joy News or whatever, the layout of the screen is different. They have the subtitle and their logo may be in the right, and their logo is blue and blah blah blah. I go to another TV, it will be different, etc. So each TV wants to receive a format of video they can shape to their program, to their TV, to their design, to their layout, they can do whatever they want with it. So they want to receive what is called a video B-roll. A video B-roll is a raw footage. The raw footage is that. I'm giving you, let's imagine I'm handling a camera right now. I have 20 seconds of that. Then I have 20 seconds of that guy talking. So I have 20 seconds of me talking. Then I have 10 seconds of that. And maybe the camera is moving a little bit. And then I have Pompili-Mognard with that thing on the back answering a question. With you can hear what I say. It's actually an interview. Yes, you know, what we are doing today is very important, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so with that, I have a 4-5 minute video. Maybe I have the entrance of the venue here, maybe I have the parking, whatever. Maybe I have a zoom here, just for 1 second. Okay, so with that, I package a 3, 4, 5 minutes video. There is no subtitle. There is no music. There is no video effect. There is no nothing. It's a raw footage. That child here, I give him the camera. He can do the B-roll. He can do it. Okay. Okay. So it is one of the most with the audio file, I guess, the phone is one of the most easiest piece of content to create. Now that's what the TV need to do their job. They need to receive a raw footage video. Okay, so you remember what I said, right? Now, think the last time you saw a news report on TV. Okay, so, and today in Accra, Ghana, the chairman of the peer group came to blah, 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 blah. And a lot of people were there to blah, 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 blah. And now let's listen what Mr. Pompimena has to say about blah, blah. Well, you say blah, 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 blah. They use the B-roll. B-roll are everywhere. B-roll are the primary format used by TV. Can you see it, what I just, you can see it? You understand what I just said? You can see it? Okay, so next time you watch TV, news, think about what I just told you. That's what they use. So, now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, if you are the communication manager in charge of the promotion of that event we are having here, you want to produce, at the end of the event, text, maybe he's doing it, pictures, we have camera here, videos, and audio files. When it comes to the video B-roll, that thing, I want to send it to 10 TV channels, 20 TV channels. I want to send it even to the channel outside of Ghana. I want to send it to the BBC. I want to send it to Al Jazeera. I want to send it to CNN. Well, that format is raw footage. Any TV channel can use it. There is nothing there. There is no logo, there is no subtitle, there is no audio file. They can use it. Even the TV which has the capacity, they can even what I say, they can put subtitles, they can translate it. They can do whatever they want. So that is what is a video B-roll. By the way, I know, and I'm very aware that it's all about social media, etc., etc. There are three comments I would like to make. Consider the time, energy, and money it will take to create an Instagram video about what we are doing here, about that event. It will take, so someone will have to come, shoot some video, go back to do some editing, add some video effect, add some music, whatever. So it will be way more time consuming, way more costly than to do a B-roll. We saw that. A B-roll is like, you push the button, that's it. It's done in 20 minutes. And you don't need to do anything. 30 minutes after, you can send it to the TVs. There is no subtitle, there is no logo to add, there is no audio file, there is no nothing. So producing a social media format video will be way more time consuming, way more costly. By the way, when it comes to news, I can send my B-roll to the TV within 1 hour after the end of the event. No problem. I can do it in 30 minutes. 30 minutes after the end, 30 minutes after Pompimena finished to talk, I can send the thing to the TVs. But the Instagram video will be ready maybe next week. I'm in the news business. So, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because now, consider you do that Instagram video. You actually take the time and energy, etc., to produce it. If you are lucky, you're gonna have if you're very good, you're going to have 500,000 views. 500,000 will be a good figure, right? 500,000 views of that video on Instagram and stuff and social media, Facebook will be something, right? But if the B-roll I produce and I send to the TV is held by one TV channel, just one TV channel, maybe I'm doing more than 500,000 views, right? Not to mention, that TV channel, guess what? Maybe they have their own social media. Maybe they have their own Instagram. And maybe whatever they hear on TV, they also put on their social media. So you need to think about what is your best return on investment here. The traditional media, as they are called, they still have huge reach, huh? And they have their own social media. Okay, so we just saw what is a B-roll. We just saw how to produce a B-roll. Now, just like image need to have a caption, image that have a description, a B-roll always come with something called a dope sheet. So that video you package, that 4, 5, 6 minute video we just discussed, which has no subtitle, which is raw footage, etc., it needs to come with a document, a text document, which is called a dope sheet. The dope sheet will describe what is on the video, because again, when I'm a journalist, I'm receiving that video, I'm playing it, and at minute 4:22, I have that guy. I'm receiving the video, and I'm playing it, and at minute 4:22, I have that guy talking. I don't know who he is. I don't know how to spell his name. So if I want to put it on my TV, when a guy is going to talk, I need to put his name and his position. I don't know that. I don't know how to spell his name. I don't know, etc. So with the video file, I'm going to have always a text file come with it, which is called a dope sheet, which will describe the entire video, like minute by minute. Say, okay, from second 1 to second 20, view of the attendees of the training, blah, 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 blah. And from minute 4:22, Nicolas Pompidou, founder and chairman of APO Group. So the TV journalist just have to copy-paste the name and the position. Okay? Because again, if I don't provide that, I may not like it. Because guess what? If I don't send that, it could be like, and now let's listen to Nicolas Pompidou, founder and chairman of APO Group. Or let's see what Ben has to say about it. If I don't give that information, I may not like the result. Huh? Okay? So all the video B-roll need to come with a dope sheet, okay, which is a description. Dope sheet are to B-roll what captions are to images, okay? Now, audio files, as I said, which are referred as soundbites, are the easiest piece of content to create. You all have phone, and on your phone you all have the ability to record. You can even use WhatsApp or whatever, to create audio, right? You go to your priest, you go to your bishop, you go to your cardinal, you go to whatever, you go to someone which is attending the mass, wherever you want, and you ask a question, and you just record. And if you like it, you send that to the radio with your press release. They will understand that they will love you for it. You understand that, right? I'm a radio journalist. You're sending me a press release with, as an attachment, an audio file. I will love you for it. You're making my life easier. And by the way, that's how I'm paying the rent, with the content I'm producing. I love you, and I want more. I want more. And if you do that consistently, you'll be part of the family. Hey, send me more content. And do you have more audio file? Because that's. And by the way, I'm a small radio on the other side of Ghana, like other side. It will cost me a lot of money, which I don't have to travel to Kumasi, to travel to whatever. And then I can say in my radio, and now let's listen that guy which attended that event on the other side of Ghana. It makes me look important, like I have a special envoy. Yes? Okay. Fine. So it's just to highlight the fact that if you understand the different type of media, if you understand the format they need, if you are able to produce the content they need, and if you consistently provide content to a journalist, you're going to create a virtuous cycle where journalists will be waiting for your content and you will guarantee your media coverage most of the time, right? Let's not forget that media needs content. Huh? I mean, you know that. Huh? Media needs content. Media needs content. I'm an owner of a newspaper, daily newspaper. Each day I need to fill 20 pages, something like that. I'm an owner of radio, of TV. I need to create 24 hours of program, etc. And your content is very specific. The content you're producing, you guys, is very specific. Because you are in the public, I saw you. You are in the public relation industry. You are in the communication industry. So let's take let's take a step back here. Globally, everyone is talking about copyrights, and all the content is copyrighted. Right now, you have big discussion between ChatGPT, Google, and the media, etc. Because copyright. Because I'm a journalist. I spend a lot of time produce that piece, and it's not fair that you can copy it and use it or sell it or whatever. It's my property. That's copyright. So you are reporters, journalists, etc. You cannot go on the website of BBC and just copy paste and say, well, that's my piece now. So oh, I like that article. Yeah, oh, copy paste on my thing. You cannot do it. It's infringement of copyright. And by the way, you would not like anyone to do that to you. You would not appreciate it. At least not without asking, etc., etc. If you work for several hours on a piece and someone is just copy pasting and putting his name on it, I mean, come on. But in that world of copyright and in that world where everyone is very protective about this content, in that world where as a journalist you need to be very careful about the content you're using, you cannot just copy paste, etc. The public relation industry, the communication industry, the communication activity, your activity is very different because you are providing the media, the journalists, free content, copyright-free content. You are sending me consistently text, image, video, audio file I can use for free on my website. Each day I'm waking up and I have 20 pages of daily newspaper to fill. I need content for my radio. I need content for my TV. If I don't have content, I cannot sell advertisement. And creating content costs money. I cannot always send my journalists to the other side of the country to pay them the taxis, the airport, the whatever. So you are doing something great for me. You're sending me free content. You're sending me text, image, video, soundbite about something which happened on the other side of the country 2 hours ago. This is a great service you're providing to me. I will love you for it. I will add, by the way, that the content you're providing to me as a Catholic Church is meaningful. It interests a lot of people. I mean, there are plenty of communication managers today in Ghana which are receiving money to promote things or companies or organizations no one cares about. You are representing the Roman Catholic Church. When you talk, people are listening. There is an interest in what you are saying. I will digress and make a point I made in front of the General Assembly of SECAM a few years ago. Something which is, I think, extremely important. The Roman Catholic Church is entitled to express its view, values on everything pertaining to human activity, everything. Your priest, bishop, etc. can express themselves on artificial intelligence, education, women, health, agriculture, whatever. Whatever. You are entitled, the church is entitled to express his view on absolutely everything. And that's not the case of everyone. That's not the case of all the organizations. You think about the international days, for instance, International Days of Child, International Day of Education. Yesterday was Women, right? Okay, International Day of Women. But there are plenty. International Day of Health. There are plenty of those international days. Well, the Roman Catholic Church is entitled to talk about that, on all those topics. All of those topics. Not, personally, I think it's more than entitled. I think people are craving for it, and people want to know things about artificial intelligence, about technology, about energy, about climate change. SECAM is involved was at the COP, right? SECAM is involved in the climate change discussion, etc., etc. So it's not like you have a lack of topics to cover, let's say, or to mention. Next slide, please. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it is about content production, distribution, monitoring. Production, distribution, monitoring. We just covered production. Well, here we are. We just produce content. So we have the best possible press release. We translate it in several languages. We followed the format of a press release. We have a picture, and that picture has a caption. And we have a crazy good quality B-roll. And we have an audio file in 3 languages, etc., etc. Well, that's it. I mean, job is done. We can go. We just put that very nice content on a table. We leave it on the computer, and our job is done. Well, no. Job has just started because if the content remains on my computer, it is useless. I need now to distribute that content. Production, distribution, monitoring. So how do I distribute that content? How do I make that content I just spend a lot of time and energy to create, how do I make it available to the media? So we can consider the different type of assets we've just created. Again, text, image, video, and audio file. Based on that, we can do 2 things. We can consider that we want to distribute something we will call all media press release or multimedia press release. So I will send a text press release, and I will attach some pictures, and will attach some videos, and I will attach some audio files, and I will refer to that as a all media news release. Or I can consider each asset separately. And then I can send a text press release, but I can also send an image news release. I can also send a photo news release. I can also send a video news release, or I can send a radio news release. So maybe I'm sending to the radios only a file which is an audio file, right? Maybe I'm sending to the radio an audio file, and I'm sending that separately. To the TV, I'm sending another email which contains only the B-roll, etc., etc. So we'll discuss that. We'll do a pause now, and we'll discuss, continue discussion about that a little bit later. We have 10 minutes, I think.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
We have 20 minutes. Instead of coming back at 11:30, we come back at 11:20. Because we took 10
Okay,
minutes.
so 11:20. Thank you.
The first thing is we are taking a group photograph as you step out. Please, that's it.
We can do it here.
No.
If we no, where are you doing it? Because we okay, well, okay, over here.
Photographs of you, but because of the numbers.
Okay. Yeah, fine. That's no problem.
We want us to buy one. But
Lumen Christi TV, truly Catholic. 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 Lumen Christi TV, truly Catholic.
Electrical cables are an essential part of our everyday lives as we are surrounded by numerous types for various applications. Without them, basic life activities will not be possible. Excellent quality cables are made from excellent quality raw materials. Our subsidiary company, Western Rod and Wire Limited, receives the molten aluminium metal from Valco and through continuous casting and rolling manufactures EC grade aluminium rods, which serves as one of the raw materials for cable production at Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited. Like former global president and COO of Ford Motor Company, we believe that manufacturing is the bedrock of sound economies and thriving societies. Since our inception in 1997, we have made impressive progress as our technology is geared towards manufacturing the highest quality of cables, conductors, and PVC compounds.
I started it with the very simple aim of creating an African industrial giant. And then secondly, to create a company which will live beyond me. The company is a gift to my country and my people so that it can provide jobs, but above all, provide an example to our nation that we can also do well in manufacturing.
With a world-class staff that have vast experiences and expertise, we are consistent in manufacturing world-class quality cables.
I have been working with Tropical Cables and Conducted for about 5 years now. I came in like a national service personnel. Working with Tropical Cable has been so great. In the finance department as a finance officer. Working with Tropical Cable has given me more experience on my job. Working with a very great team, especially my boss and a working mate of mine, they have been so supportive.
The cable manufacturing process begins after receipt of raw materials such as EC-grade copper rod, EC-grade aluminium rod, insulating compounds, just to name a few. The first manufacturing process of a cable is the wire drawing process, where a copper or aluminium rod with a bigger diameter is drawn down to a smaller diameter wire strand and placed on spools. The drawn copper wires undergo a heating process called annealing to increase the ductility and conductivity. As is done at each stage of the manufacturing process, quality control tests are carried out at this critical first stage. The next stage in the process is stranding or bunching, which involves combining individual copper or aluminium wires together to form the conductor. Conductors of different cross-sections can be made. On to the extrusion process, where an insulating sheath is placed over the conductor. Different materials such as PVC, XLPE, PE, or even EPR can be used depending on the cable properties required. The next process, which is laying up, is a grouping of different phase conductors to produce a multi-core cable. The phased conductors are either colored or numbered in keeping with the installation standard. After laying up, another extrusion or sheathing may be required. The armoring process involves putting a mechanic covering called armor to further protect the cable from external damage that may occur. The armor wires are made from aluminium or galvanized steel. The outer covering is placed on the armor in an extrusion process after armoring. For conduit cables, the coiling process is the last stage of production before the finished products are received into stores for onward dispatch to the cherished customer. After each process, a series of rigorous tests are conducted to ensure the specifications are met.
This is where we manufacture all our electrical cables that are distributed throughout West Africa and the continent. We have a workforce of about 150 on site, working a 24-hour shift, 6 days a week. We're producing on site aluminium cables. We have bought machines to be able to keep up with the demand on the local market. My workforce here are only Ghanaian, 99%. We are constantly looking to upgrade our product markets and expand our range of products in all our aspects of what we're making here in Tropical Cables.
We value life above all. Health and safety is a priority as workers are always in the required PPEs to execute their tasks. At Tropical Cable, quality is our hallmark. Within our passion for excellence and the desire to satisfy our customers, we ensure total compliance to international standards by various tests conducted using our ultra-modern testing facilities. Our highly qualified lab engineers carry out rigorous tests to ensure that every single Tropical Cable and conductor product meet the standards.
We manufacture cables in accordance with various specifications and various international standards. The Ghana standard for electric cables and conductors is an equivalent of International Electrotechnical Commission standard for electrical cables. All our products are certified by Ghana Standards Authority. In addition, we are also implementing a quality management system in compliance with the ISO 9001 quality management system requirements. We were the first cable manufacturer in Ghana to attain this certification in 2004. Over the years, we work on maintaining the standards with regular internal quality audits and external audits by independent accredited organization SGS. Talking about specifications, we can manufacture in accordance to customer requirements. When we receive our inquiry, first we analyze, we review the requirements and then assign an international standard and manufacture accordingly.
Because we care about our environment, we ensure minimal waste through recycling to minimize environmental pollution. We operate the only PVC compounding plant that produces insulation compounds for the cable manufacturing industry here in Ghana and West Africa.
I work for Tropical Cable for 23 years. I started work at Tropical as I'm young. I come from vocational school when I started working with Mr. Tony JC. At that time, I've started as a cleaner, moving from cleaning to production, become a production overseer. From production, I moved to stores as a stores assistant. I'm very happy to work at Tropical Cable.
We have the capacity to produce over 10,000 tons of cables, conductors, and PVC compounds combined each year.
At Tropical Cables, we are focused on two things: providing excellent quality cables to our consumers and providing convenience to our customers. We are an ever-evolving company and we are focused on bringing the best to you wherever you are. We are set up in two ways. We have sales depots across various regions in the country, strategically placed to serve the consumer needs wherever you find yourself in Ghana. We also have distributors across the country who are in the market in various territories to be able to serve you and get the products closer to you. Quality is our focus, and we always ensure that you get the best. On top of that, we are an award-winning cable manufacturer. We've won numerous awards across various platforms. Because we are a customer-focused company, we ensure that all our cables are flame retardant, low smoke. We ensure we bring you nothing but the best quality in terms of cables. So regardless of where you find yourself, Tropical Cable should be your only choice, not an option.
We have served and continue to serve institutions like ECG, Gridco, VRA, Anglo Gold Ashanti, Gold Fields Ghana, Newmont, Trasaco, Agricattle Lakeside Estates, Regimanuel, Vodafone, Batis Construction, B-Rock Ventures, just to name a few.
It's obvious that now we are the largest in Ghana. We are the first or second in West Africa. And we are looking beyond going that to become the true African industrial giant as we take on the North African manufacturers who are bigger. But we have no doubt that within the next 5 years as we move into MV cables and other sophisticated cables that will give them a run for their money.
Quality is our hallmark and excellence our passion. We are the best at what we do, and that is why we are Ghana's #1 cable manufacturer. Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited. Invest in the best. Achete la qualité. Top papa preko. Electrical cables are the essential.
Lumen Christi TV, truly Catholic.
The breakthrough solution for digital broadcasting and multimedia provisioning is here. With over 28 years of consistent delivery of broadcasting services, sound technical support for Ghana's digital migration, and engineering advisory to the Africa-wide broadcasting industry, Crystal TV, Ghana's first private television station, has yet again led the frontiers of broadcasting with tailored satellite and terrestrial digital infrastructural solutions for the ultimate delivery of hybrid digital multimedia services across Africa. Crystal TV has become the only broadcasting entity providing its own fully integrated multi-service digital platform for satellite DTH, digital terrestrial television DTT, hybrid IP multimedia and webcasting, with transmission infrastructure completely built and operated by competent engineers and management staff in Ghana for the Africa-wide digital media broadcasting industry. The Crystal TV platform, a classically engineered digital terrestrial television network, working together with its global partners and the robustly designed DTH digital satellite television plus IP platform, branded Mega Choice Digital, with footprints covering Africa, is serving broadcasters and media networks across the African continent, enabling the delivery of digital broadcasting services as never seen before. The Mega Choice Digital Network is enriched with a unique class of both local and international experts and professionals working around the clock 24/7 to ensure excellent service delivery to all its clients. Mega Choice, with networking centers in Africa and affiliates in several locations around the world, grants the opportunity for media services to be part of Africa's most vibrant free-to-air broadcast neighborhood, with the array of highly attractive broadcast channels, creating a one-stop geostationary location with unrestricted free-to-air access to prominent media services who are delivering world-class TV programs for the viewing pleasure of everyone, while boosting advertising with increased visibility to wherever you are. Mega Choice is equipped with cutting-edge, state-of-the-art digital IP broadcasting studios, a well-set-up networking center in Accra, installed with modern facilities at newly built substations within the nation of Ghana. Together with its global partners, offering end-to-end turnkey solutions with unparalleled technical infrastructure, Mega Choice guarantees exceptional services to all its clients.
We are very pleased to have Dr. Chief and Priest from Ghana, Mega Choice, one of the biggest TV platform in Africa, and we are very honored to have a partnership agreement with them as of TürkSat to deliver TV and make 42 East one of the biggest, strongest neighborhood in Ghana and entire Africa. This partnership will extend and we'll see more and more audience tuning into 42 East together this partnership.
Yes, it's an excellent relationship. When it comes to satellite delivery of television and satellite services, it takes those who know about this business, those who understand the business. The technicality is not just saying you are on satellite. And we are very glad that TürkSat, they are in this business for years, and we have taking time to study what they do and for MegaChoice to agree to work together with them. This is creating a neighborhood that will take over the continent of Africa in all the fields of satellite service delivery. And we only will say, Africa, get ready. We are glad in this relationship with Turksat.
Wherever you are with MegaChoice, you have everything you longed for. Join our increasing number of world-class thematic channels hosted on our DVB-S2, T2 and IP platforms and enjoy the exciting offers that come along.
Experience the uniqueness of Turksat at 42 degrees east in Africa.
Turksat of the future invites you to be a part of this moment. Turksat, space-age communication.
Be a part of the game changers.
Turksat,
World Satellite Communications Giants.
MegaChoice Digital,
Just Irresistible.
Crystal TV,
Revealing the realities of our time. For more information on our broadcast and platform services, programs and sponsorships, contact the following numbers: +233 572 291 687 or +233 572 291 675. Visit our websites www.crystaltvgroup.com or www.megachoicedigital.com and visit all our social media handles.
Welcome to our series of meditations on St. John's Gospel. The title of this series is God So Loved the World. The moment God is present, everything takes on God's dimension, and that is true of our own lives as well. In the beginning was the Word, and then he makes it very clear that the Word is divine. The Word was with God and the Word was God. When God comes into our lives, it's no longer ordinary. The redemption of mankind has got to meet the thirst of the human race for God and the thirst for redemption. Sin blinds us. We've learned in chapter 8 that sin will blind you and will enslave you. And the whole human race is in that condition. If the body is the only part that's healed, you're not healed. The real healing is the healing of your soul, the healing of your entire person. We were told in chapter 3 that the choice is ours, and the judgment that follows will be actually our choice. You either choose the light, or by default you've chosen the darkness.
For God So Loved the World shows every Saturday at 2 p.m. and repeats on Mondays and Fridays at 6:30 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Lumen Christi TV, truly Catholic.
The early bird catches the worms, but the patient ones pick the best seeds as it blossoms. Let MegaChoice, your trusted experts, take you to the next level. Call the MegaChoice TV platform on +233 57 229 1687, +233 57 229 1675. Or call the numbers on your screens now and reach our registered agents nationwide for proper tuning of your TV installations to receive the MegaChoice digital channels for free. You can also call our helplines or global reps on the following numbers: South Africa +27 829 287 665.
The Republic of Togo, +228 9088 9586 and +228 9004 3934. The Benin Republic, +229 9721 9561.
Cameroon +237 672 219 075.
Nigeria, +234 8134 74 3178. Dubai City +961 70 487 778. Germany +49 622 148 0345.
And for all other parts of Europe, call Crossroads International SRL on +39 333 965 5436. Mega Choice Digital, just irresistible.
Electrical cables are an essential part of our everyday lives as we are surrounded by numerous types for various applications. Without them, basic life activities will not be possible. Excellent quality cables are made from excellent quality raw materials. Our subsidiary company, Western Rod and Wire Limited, receives the molten aluminium metal from Valco and through continuous casting and rolling manufactures EC grade aluminium rods, which serves as one of the raw materials for cable production at Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited. Like former global president and COO of Ford Motor Company, we believe that manufacturing is the bedrock of sound economies and thriving societies. Since our inception in 1997, we have made impressive progress as our technology is geared towards manufacturing the highest quality of cables, conductors, and PVC compounds.
I started it with the very simple aim of creating an African industrial giant. And then secondly, to create a company which will live beyond me. The company is a gift to my country and my people so that it can provide jobs, but above all, provide an example to our nation that we can also do well in manufacturing.
With a world-class staff that have vast experiences and expertise, we are consistent in manufacturing world-class quality cables.
I have been working with Tropical Cables and Conducted for about 5 years now. I came in like a national service personnel. Working with Tropical Cable has been so great. In the finance department as a finance officer. Working with Tropical Cable has given me more experience on my job. Working with a very great team, especially my boss and a working mate of mine, they have been so supportive.
The cable manufacturing process begins after receipt of raw materials such as EC-grade copper rod, EC-grade aluminium rod, insulating compounds, just to name a few. The first manufacturing process of a cable is the wire drawing process, where a copper or aluminium rod with a bigger diameter is drawn down to a smaller diameter wire strand and placed on spools. The drawn copper wires undergo a heating process called annealing to increase the ductility and conductivity. As is done at each stage of the manufacturing process, quality control tests are carried out at this critical first stage. The next stage in the process is stranding or bunching, which involves combining individual copper or aluminium wires together to form the conductor. Conductors of different cross-sections can be made. On to the extrusion process, where an insulating sheath is placed over the conductor. Different materials such as PVC, XLPE, PE, or even EPR can be used depending on the cable properties required. The next process, which is laying up, is a grouping of different phase conductors to produce a multi-core cable. The phased conductors are either colored or numbered in keeping with the installation standard. After laying up, another extrusion or sheathing may be required. The armoring process involves putting a mechanic covering called armor to further protect the cable from external damage that may occur. The armor wires are made from aluminium or galvanized steel. The outer covering is placed on the armor in an extrusion process after armoring. For conduit cables, the coiling process is the last stage of production before the finished products are received into stores for onward dispatch to the cherished customer. After each process, series of rigorous tests are conducted to ensure the specifications are met.
This is where we manufacture all our electrical cables that are distributed throughout West Africa and the continent. We have a workforce of about 150 on site, working a 24-hour shift, 6 days a week. We're producing on-site aluminium cables. We have bought machines to be able to keep up with the demand on the local market. My workforce here are only Ghanaian, 99%. We are constantly looking to upgrade our product market and expand our range of products in all our aspects of what we're making here in tropical cables.
We value life above all. Health and safety is a priority as workers are always in the required PPEs to execute their tasks. At Tropical Cable, quality is our hallmark. Within our passion for excellence and the desire to satisfy our customers, we ensure total compliance to international standards by various tests conducted using our ultra-modern testing facilities. Our highly qualified lab engineers carry out rigorous tests to ensure that every single Tropical Cable and conductor product meet the standards.
We manufacture cables in accordance with various specifications and various international standards. The Ghana standard for electric cables and conductors is an equivalent of International Electrotechnical Commission standard for electrical cables. All our products are certified by Ghana Standards Authority. In addition, we are also implementing a quality management system in compliance with the ISO 9001 quality management system requirements. We were the first cable manufacturer in Ghana to attend this certification in 2004. Over the years, we work on maintaining the standards with regular internal quality audits and external audits by independent accredited organization SGS. Talking about specifications, we can manufacture in accordance to customer requirements. When we receive our inquiry, first we analyze, we review the requirements and then assign an international standard and manufacture accordingly.
Because we care about our environment, we ensure minimal waste through recycling to minimize environmental pollution. We operate the only PVC compounding plant that produces insulation compounds for the cable manufacturing industry here in Ghana and West Africa.
I worked for Tropical Cable for 23 years. I started work at Tropical as I'm young. I come from vocational school when I started working with Mr. Tony Otinjesi. At that time, I've started as a cleaner, moving from cleaning to production, become a production overseer. From production, I moved to stores as a stores assistant. I'm very happy to work at Tropical Cable.
We have the capacity to produce over 10,000 tons of cables, conductors, and PVC compounds combined each year.
At Tropical Cables, we are focused on two things: providing excellent quality cables to our consumers and providing convenience to our customers. We are an ever-evolving company and we are focused on bringing the best to you wherever you are. We are set up in two ways. We have sales depots across various regions in the country, strategically placed to serve the consumer needs wherever you find yourself in Ghana. We also have distributors across the country who are in the market in various territories to be able to serve you and get the products closer to you. Quality is our focus, and we always ensure that you get the best. On top of that, we are an award-winning cable manufacturer. We've won numerous awards across various platforms. Because we are a customer-focused company, we ensure that all our cables are flame retardant, low smoke. We ensure we bring you nothing but the best quality in terms of cables. So regardless of where you find yourself, Tropical Cable should be your only choice, not an option.
We have served and continue to serve institutions like ECG, Gridco, VRA, Anglo Gold Ashanti, Gold Fields Ghana, Newmont, Trasaco, Agri-Cattle Lakeside Estates, Regimanuel, Vodafone, Batis Construction, B-Rock Ventures, just to name a few.
It's obvious that now we are the largest in Ghana. We are the first or second in West Africa. And we are looking beyond going that to become the true African industrial giant as we take on the North African manufacturers who are bigger. But we have no doubt that within the next 5 years, as we move into MV cables and other sophisticated cables, that will give them a run for their money.
Quality is our hallmark and excellence our passion. We are the best at what we do, and that is why we are Ghana's #1 cable manufacturer. Tropical Cable and Conductor Limited. Invest in the best. Achete la qualité. Top Papa Prep.
Get out of your cocoons. Move out of your shells. Shred off the limits. Do not be the beauty in the dark. Announce your presence and justify your inclusion. Get launched onto the Mega Choice TV platform now. Step up onto the Mega Choice TV platform and rise above your peers. Call the Mega TV platform now on +233 57229 1687 +233 57229 1675, or call the numbers on your screens to reach our registered agents nationwide for proper tuning of your TV installations and receive the Mega Choice digital channels for free. You can also call our helplines or global reps on the following numbers: South Africa +27 829 287 665.
The Republic of Togo +228 9088 9586 and +228 9004 3934. The Benin Republic +229 9721 9561.
Cameroon +237 672 219 075.
Nigeria +234 8134 74 3178. Dubai City +961 70 487 778. Germany +49 622 148 0345.
And for all other parts of Europe, call Crossroads International SRL on +39 333 965 5436. Mega Choice Digital. Just irresistible.
Cornelia Connelly School of Holy Child Jesus is a basic Catholic school for both male and female. It was founded on the 15th of October 2012 by the Sisters of the Holy Child Jesus. Cornelia Connelly School of the Holy Child Jesus is located in a serene environment in Cape Coast. The aim is to help young people to have holistic education. Schools of the Holy Child Jesus share in the mission of the Sisters of the Society of the Holy Child Jesus, a group of Catholic sisters well known for providing quality education worldwide, with a mission to help others to believe that God lives and acts in them and in our world, and to rejoice in His divine presence. Our vision is to make quality education and all its benefits accessible to the diversified classes of people in Ghana. We also provide a holistic education in a Christian atmosphere in which the child develops to his or her highest potential. The goals of Cornelia Connelly School of Holy Child Jesus is to foster a faith commitment that engenders a joyous personal response to God in the challenges of the world. Another goal is to provide an intellectually challenging and creative program of study that fosters academic excellence.
Lumen Christi TV, truly Catholic.
I also want you to please display the duplicated content. And so we're going to see if there is a difference. Okay, so we are now on the KFC press release. So I'm going to do that, if you don't mind. So I'm going to copy that press release. So it has been issued on the 4th of April. and I'm going to go on Google. Sorry. Up. And I'm just going to, copy paste that press release and search for it. So I didn't do anything else than copying the headline, and I'm searching the headline on Google now. That's it. That's the only thing I'm doing. So Google is searching, hopefully. Yes, it is searching. So at some point I'm going to have the results. We're going to look at the results together, and then we're going to ask the system, ask Google to display the duplicated content, and we'll see if we have a difference. Because it is the only way for me, as a communication manager, to actually have a clear view on the entire media coverage I have generated. I mean, I'm working for someone or for an organization, right? If as a result of my work, there have been 20 web pages created, I don't want to come back to my boss or whatever only with 10. I want to come back to him with 20, right? Okay, so we have one here, which is Africa Business. We have, so obviously that press is about the International Women's Day, so there's a lot of content. Okay, I have another one here, the NDMT Africa News. So it's the exact same. Okay, so apparently that's all I have here. But no, it is still searching, in fact. So while it's searching here, I'm going to try to find something even more efficient, really. I'm sorry, Google is still searching, apparently. Okay, that's not working properly here. But we'll find a way. Okay, so we're going to do that differently. So here we have a press release from Liquid Intelligent Technology about their partnership with Google Cloud, okay? So we're going to do that research here. Sorry, it's so slow. Okay, so I'm going to narrow the research. Here on the right, we have tools. And I'm going to narrow the research to, I know that press release has been issued only a couple of days ago, so I'm going to narrow the research to past week. Okay? So here I'm just using a tool made available by Google, and it's not my computer, right? It's there. You go to Google, you have that, everyone. Huh? So here, Google is going to display, by default, all the stories it can display about that announcement, that press release that had been distributed by APO 2 days ago about Liquid C2 partnering with Google Cloud, okay? So here I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to go more result. So I'm going to ask him to show me more, if he's ready to do it. Okay, maybe we're going to do this differently because if you can take your phones, take your phones. You have phones? Yes? Take your phones. Do it with your colleague if you don't have a phone. Okay, now it's working. Okay, so we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 30, 31, 32, even more, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, so we have roughly, okay, there is more here. Okay, so we have roughly, I don't know, 50, let's say, 50 articles about that story, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go at the very bottom. I'm going to tell him, but display for me everything you got. So it takes a little bit of time, but that's okay. And you will see that at the end, and you have that for everyone when you go on Google, you have that all the time. At the end of the results, you're going to have a short sentence, which is going to tell you, would you like to display duplicated content? Okay, so we need to do more result again. Sorry it's taking so long. More result again. And so at some point he's going to say, well, I don't have more results. But he will give you an option to say, well, I don't have more result to display, but do you want me to display duplicated content? And I'm going to say yes. And there you will see that there is many more articles than what you just see and what someone... Okay, here we reach the end of the page, please. So that's the end of the result page. So I enter keywords. Those keywords could be the name of your bishop, of your cardinal, or whatever, right? And then I went to the bottom of the results. I said, okay, show me everything. I want to see page 2. I want to see page 3. I want to see... And at some point, he's telling me, well, that's it. I don't have more. But there is a sentence here, he says, you can repeat the search with the omitted result included, which translated to, do you want to display the duplicated content? Here, Google is telling you, well, I have omitted content. Do you want to see it? Answer is yes. And here, you will see that you will have many more articles. So here you already start seeing websites you didn't see the first time. So Zawiya, for instance, wasn't there. So here you have already many more, countless additional number of that story. Many more, which were hidden to us during the first result. And now we are able to see that because we told the system we want to see the duplicated content. For instance, that one wasn't there. That one is the leading website in Rwanda. It wasn't there initially in the first results. Okay, so again, the idea is that when you are doing a search, you go at the bottom of the page until you have no result left, and you will find that sentence. It will be there. with a link. And that sentence will tell you, do you want to display the omitted content, which again translates into, do you want to display the duplicated content? And you're going to say yes. And when you're going to say yes, you are not going to see 50% of your media coverage or 60% of your media coverage. You're going to see 100% of your media coverage. Is it clear? So it's not a paying service. I mean, anyone can do that with an internet connection. You just need to know how this works. But I guarantee you that, for instance, here, initially on the first search you had, okay, as I said, 30, 40, but here we pass the 80, 90 here. So if you do a sample research without doing that, you are missing a lot. You are missing a lot. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I'm tired. You know? I'm actually, you know, but you get the idea. So on my initial search, Google told me, if I believe Google on the first search, he's telling me there is only 30 stories. The first time I entered the thing, Google told me, no, that's fine. There are 30s. But if I input the right thing, if I just click on the link, now it's showing me the real color. And it's showing me that, no, it's not 30 articles about my bishop or my cardinal or the Catholic Church in Ghana. No, it's more like 150, really. So I want to be able to go back to my cardinal and my bishop to say, well, I had 150, not I had 30. And anyway, as a communication manager, I want to be able to assess, you know, the work I'm doing. So I'm going to stop there. But as you can see, apparently there's still more. So we go back to the presentation. So that's how and why to to display duplicated content. Thank you, on Google. Now, when it's come to print monitoring, and because here we are monitoring online, obviously, right? Google is monitoring online. But you may want also to monitor print, so newspapers. Well, the Catholic Standard is a good example. The Catholic Standard has an online version. No, not an online, sorry, a PDF version. So if you get the PDF version, so the e-paper version, you can search it. You can open it on a PDF reader, and then you can just search the keyword you're interested in the PDF reader. Yes? So for instance, on that, well, here we are not on PDF, but I mean, you do know that when you have a PDF, you can do a search within the PDF. Okay? So how do you monitor print? Well, you need to get the PDF edition, so the e-paper version. Yeah? And then you can search keywords using a very basic PDF reader, right? Monitoring YouTube, well, the monitoring of YouTube is actually kind of similar to the monitoring of Google. You go on YouTube and you browse the name of your bishop, or you browse the name of your event, or it's a keyword thing. Okay? So obviously on YouTube, the text which will be associated to your video may not be as you know, specific. So for instance, if my press release headline is APO Group Chairman give media relation training in Accra, etc., etc., the name of the video, the name of the video, the TV will have post on YouTube, or the YouTuber will have post on YouTube, may be different. And so if I browse on YouTube, Nicolas Pompimoniard, Ghana, maybe I'm not going to find that video. So maybe I'll have to be more, you know, more ingenious. But again, on YouTube, you can search. And Twitter is the same thing. On Twitter, you can do a search. You can go on Twitter and search for keywords. And then you will search your content. So here, those are ways to monitor your content. Again, production, distribution, monitoring. Those are ways to monitor your content with, you know, just your brain and a computer. You're not paying anyone. You're not paying any services. Obviously, it's like handcraft. There are professional services to provide that, but it's paying services. And if you don't have the resources, there is, in fact, a lot you can do just with an internet connection and a computer. Next slide, please. if any. Well, maybe there is none. Maybe there is none. Okay, so now we're going to move to questions. It's an important opportunity for you to give, to request from clarification on everything we just discussed. Ben, how much time do we still have?
We're closing in about 50 minutes to close.
50 minutes,
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's give you plenty of time to ask for questions on what we just covered or on any other topic. Who's first? I'm expecting that as journalists you are trained or you are not fear of shy of asking questions, right? Yep.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Yes, concerning, I think I'm audible, okay. Okay. Thank you for the presentation. Concerning media release, or press release, as you put it, for the sake of correct content, the press release can always be sent. But in terms of what you talk about, sometimes you may need to do follow-up interview to get the audio, sometimes the correct video and all that. Some people try to join press release with press conference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether that's good enough.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure I understood your question, but I will try to react to it, right? Okay, so here we discussed about again the basics, the fundamental of media relations. We did not cover interviews, which are media relation. We did not cover press conferences, which are media relation. We did not cover pitch, online press conferences, etc. We focus really on the very basics. But let's take again the example of that event here. That thing we are doing is an event, yes? So we already mentioned that if you were a professional communication manager in charge of promoting that event, well, within an hour or 2 hours after the end of the event, journalists will receive a press release, pictures with caption, B-roll with dope sheet, and audio files in the relevant languages. Okay, but I could also have invited journalists to attend the event or to come at the end of the event and host a press conference followed by one-to-one interviews. Yes? So, yeah, I mean, you can use a combination of media relation activities depending on what we are talking about. But a press release is a one-way communication, right? Press release, picture, sending content is a one-way street, right? But then you can create interaction through interviews, press conferences, online press conferences. For instance, so online press conferences, you can use, I mean, you can do an online press conference with WhatsApp. You can have, I don't know how many people you can have on a call on WhatsApp, but it's more than 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. But technically, the best tool to organize an online press conference will be Zoom. Okay? So if you are in a remote area of Ghana, but you have an internet connection and something is happening in your corner of Ghana, you can still have the media in Accra, journalists in Accra, covering your event. One of the main important things people do not seem to really gather about media relation and the role of communication managers is when it comes to that event, where are we here? What is the name of the place here?
Amomole.
Amomole. That event is happening at Amomole, in Amomole. So, only the journalists which are in Amomole currently can cover that event, right? I don't want that. I cannot live with that. How many journalists are around here? No one is there. So, if I don't want that event to remain an Amomole event, only the people in Amomole knows about, I need to produce content and distribute content and make it available to the media in Accra, in Kumasi, etc., etc. And then, even the journalists which never attend and which are not in Amomole can participate to the media coverage of my event, just like you were there. It is my job to produce content, to make it available for them for free, so they can participate to the media coverage of my event. Because if not, it's an Amomole event, period. No one hear about it. Okay? So again, in a communication plan, there is always a multitude of activities you can use, and you use them in combination with one another, right? Press release is one tool out of many, but there is a reason why in a workshop or seminar, or what you want to call it, which is about the fundamental of media relation, there is a reason why I pick press release and not interviews. Because press release should be the fundamental of any. If you do only one thing, if you have only one media relation activity as communication manager, it should be press release, because it is the one which is offering you the best return on investment. You create your press release. You can do that within a couple of hours, and you send it to many medias. You have 4, 5, 6, 7 which are publishing it. The return on investment is very good. Not to mention, at the bottom of the press release, you're going to have the media contact, as we saw, and say maybe that journalist which received your press release, maybe he's not going to publish today, but maybe he's going to contact you in a month, or maybe he's going to contact you for an interview, etc., right? So if you have to put together a press conference, you need a venue. You need an audio system. People will not come if you don't give them refreshment or whatever. You may want to consider per diems. You always have that guy which is going to tell you, well, if you want me to publish, etc., etc. It's complicated. Again, journalists need content. They need content. They can play, but in fact they need content. They can tell you, oh, listen, if you don't, I don't. Okay, but at the end of the day, they are paid based on the content they produce. If they don't produce content, and they can be very smart, they can be very clever, they can be etc. They don't make the news. They don't make the news. You can provide them with news. You can provide them with content. Okay? I mean, they are not going to write an article about who? Themselves? The life of a journalist? You are the news. They need your content to pay the bill. Next question. Yes?
Yeah.
No, the answer.
Okay, so when we post a media content, especially on YouTube and Facebook, sometimes when you monitor, you realize you have about 5,000 or 15,000 views. Mm-hmm. But these days, there are apps on the Play Store which can be used to monitor the content. And when you use those apps, you realize that out of the 5,000 and more views, you are engaging people for only the first 10 minutes of the content. People watch for a while and then they just scroll off. So my concern here is about how to determine the dissemination of your information when you post and then you monitor these ways. Do we use just the raw figure of the number of people that watched, or actually how the people were engaged?
So the question you are asking, and I want you to realize that, is in relation with is not in relation with media relation per se. What you are referring to is not media relation. And you are referring to it as media content, but it's not content for the media. I mean, when you post a video on YouTube, it's a B2C, it's not B2B. Media relation is B2B. B2B, as you know, refers to business. It's like a communication manager to a journalist, to a media house. It's not a communication manager to the people, to the population. When you post your thing on YouTube, it is not aimed for a journalist. If a journalist browses on it and uses it, that's fine. But the aim of YouTube is public. Media relation is relation with the media, as I said. Here you are in something else. By the way, you are in digital marketing maybe. So you are posting a piece of content on a social media which is called YouTube. Okay, can we agree that we are not talking about media relation? Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, to to answer your question, as you know, the model which is used by, and it's not my area of expertise, so maybe I'm not fully accurate, but I think I'm 90% right. As you know, the model which is used by social media is impression model. It's a number of impression. So it's even worse than what you just mentioned, because maybe what you're referring to is, maybe when you have a 5-minute video, the system, and in that instance YouTube, but maybe Instagram or whatever, will tell me that as long as someone actually push play and watched maybe 20 seconds, it will count like a view, which is deceiving, because in fact, out of the 100,000 so-called views, there is maybe only like 500 people who actually watch the entire video. Yes? And that's what you're referring to, right? So that I don't have an answer. I don't know the technicality of it. But my point is that the system is even worse than that. Because again, the social media industry is using wording like impression and wording like engagement, which in fact, engagement can mean anything. There is no, engagement can be someone saw the YouTube, but not even played, just it just displayed. You get my point, right? I was scrolling down, and at some point the video displayed. It was never played. Huh? It was never played. But then that video received one impression, just received one impression. What is the value of that? So if you give me a website and you have 5 videos, and one is you have to scroll down, and if you scroll the entire home page, you have 5 videos, and I'm just scrolling. At the end, I just gave one impression to each of those videos. I don't know what they are about. I never played them. But I just gave them an impression. And then YouTube or whoever is going to come back to me and say, you receive 1 million impression. Ooh rah, ooh rah, So it is a little bit complicated, It's a little bit complicated. So it is worse than what you just mentioned. The impression model, it's to me it's a little bit deceiving, And obviously, the point you're making is perfectly right. You produce content, you want to know who actually watched your video, like actually watched it. The video, not the first 10% of the video, right? When it comes to the software to be used, I'm not sure, I don't know, but it's not my area of expertise. We had a question here? Yeah?
Yes, so I'm going back to the press releases.
Yep.
So you indicated that it's good when you send your press statement in a Word document to the journalist. Yes, we understand that actually makes the work of the journalist easier than the newsroom. But the fear sometimes is that you want to curb misrepresentation. You don't want anything to be added to the statement you are giving out. So you either scan it or you give it in a PDF document so that no one add anything to it. In this situation, okay.
Are you finished?
Yes.
You can tell that I'm upset. You just upset me.
Why?
Because you need to think harder. You need to think harder. So you are sending. So there are different ways to think about that. So you are sending a press release. So let's go back to the basics, right? Again, you are a communication manager and you are sending a press release to a journalist. Okay, that's what we are talking about.
Yes.
Okay. So you are telling me, oh no. Oh, you don't have the right to change my press release. Don't change. Don't change the wording. Don't add information. Don't use it in an article. Because what? You own the content? Well, you are afraid that maybe they will denature the story?
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. Guess what? When the press release is out, there is nothing you can do. It's not yours. Either you have only 2 choices in life in that industry. Either you distribute the press release or you don't distribute it. That's it. That's it. Now there is one middle whatever. If a journalist is making a huge blatant mistake, has to be huge, has to be blatant. Not preferential, not I would have preferred if you use that wording, or I would have preferred, no, because you are a journalist, right? Someone is calling you to tell you, well, I really don't like the piece you write based on the press release we sent you, and that's not how we wanted you to treat the information, and really you're not a good journalist, whatever. I mean, you're gonna take that? You're gonna do what the guy is telling you to do? So, at the moment, I said that press release is not copyrighted, right? Yeah. At the moment you issue your press release, it's not yours anymore. Okay. So you push the button or you don't push the button. But there is such a thing as, there's that thing called freedom of press, Now, it may very well is the case that for political reason, whatever, someone will, in fact, yes, denature your press release. Again, if it is a blatant nonsense, whatever, you can go. You can even publish some kind of a rebuttal. Okay. You can go as far as that. But you cannot think that the way to fight that thing, which by the way will occur one time each 5 years, the way to fight that is to send a scan to journalists. Because I'm going to send you a scan of a 2,000 word press release, and I'm going to ask you to draft something about it, to write an article about it. And I'm going to do that your entire life for the next 3 months. I mean, come on. Okay. So I mean, I don't know, maybe okay, another way to phrase that is that whatever is the occurrence of that problem you just suggested, it doesn't do not justify to make the life of all the other journalists 10 times harder, like 100 times harder. It goes against your interests.
Please, could you emphasize how we could check misrepresentation? From what my brothers just said, if the thing is not put scanned or something, and somebody is going to take something out of it, make representation out of it. Something that can even, like you said, dent the image of my organization. How do I check it if I'm not supposed to give it in PDF or scanned matter?
So you live in a world where, so you actually believe that your job is to send content to the media so they can publish it the way it is and not touching it, and you want a guarantee of that. You think it's a threat for you that a journalist could alter the content you are sending in. It is nonsense. It is nonsense. So you want to live in a world of duplicated content. You don't want a journalist to actually spend a few days to write a piece and using part of your press release and part of another press release, etc., to actually work on an article. You don't want that.
Yes, not that we don't want that. It can be altered, all right.
Journalists are dangerous.
But not to probably misrepresent. Exactly.
But I mean, but I'm not saying it cannot happen, and it will happen, and it is happening. It is happening, yeah. Right? But it is your work to, as I said, engage with those journalists, try to see if they made that mistake in good faith, or if they are hostile. If they are hostile, there is nothing you can do, right? But maybe they make the mistake in good faith, and then you send them the right information. But I mean, again, whatever is that preoccupation of yours, it is not a problem you have with 100% of the media landscape, with 100% of the journalists, right? So, okay, maybe you wake up the morning and you said, okay, there is that, and it is a risk, and there is that journalist or that media which is constantly a problem, etc. But me, I'm working for the 95 other persons. Because if it's not that, then what is the alternative? You are sending, and by the way, you send a scan to a journalist. Is it fixing your problem 100%? He cannot misrepresent you anymore. He can, right? Okay, but you are making the 95% journalists miserable. You're making their life miserable. And you are impairing, like, badly your chance of being published. Because again, you are relying on the fact that the journalist, which is, that's the only thing he has to do, No, that's the thing he has to do. He has to retype character after character the press release just sent him. Everything. Yeah, sure, there's plenty. I mean, you will do it, right? You will do it, right? Huh? You will do it happily, right? Happily. Okay. So I do understand that, but I mean, maybe it's a question of measure, I mean, are you killing a mosquito with a bulldozer here, Like, maybe it's, don't go, it's too much. It is not 95% of the media coverage of the journalists which are going to cause you those kind of problems, right? So the question of the goodwill is important. If there is, and by the way, to answer your question is monitoring, huh? Question is monitoring, production, distribution, monitoring. Now, if indeed you identify that there is someone which is, let's say a journalist which is, let's call it making a mistake, you need to identify, well, first of all, it is your role to engage. It is your prerogative to engage. And the first thing to establish is that is it blatant political hostility for whatever reason, or is it an honest mistake? By the way, in my experience, and I saw that several times, and by the way, I used to be a journalist. You read my bio, I think. Okay, if I'm a journalist, and I respect my profession, I respect myself, and I receive a call, I publish an article, and I receive a call from the communication manager of the Catholic Church. Listen, yeah, I'm John from whatever. Listen, I saw your article. I'm sorry, but you had it all wrong. You made a mistake. It wasn't that. It was that, etc., etc. I will thank the guy. I will thank him. I'll say, oh, sorry. Thank you for drawing my attention on that, because I don't want to be the only journalist in the country which is publishing wrong informations. I will thank the guy. So we all go back. We all come back to the exception, I hope, of the guy which is a heckler or whatever you call that in English, which is upset all the time, which is hostile or whatever. But that guy is a minority, right? So you don't never in life, you don't make a rule based on minority case. You don't do it. You don't impair the quality of the work and the content you will distribute to 98% of the journalists just because one time each quarter there is some guy somewhere which is hostile,
Can I? Sorry. Thank you.
Ladies first.
Okay, I just want to add to what you said. I work with Business Ghana, and we get a lot of stories coming in to be published. The stories that come in as scanned or PDF, we get back to the people. Can you send us the Word format of this story? If you don't send, it's fine. We have other stories.
You're kind enough. You're kind enough to do it. No, she's kind enough to do it. She's kind because she could say it.
Yes. If you don't send, it's fine. Then you don't get your story published, because we only publish Word documents, like he's saying.
I don't understand. You are not happy to spend.
No. We are not going to rewrite, because we have a lot of stories to work on. We are not going to rewrite. So we just get back to you. Send us the Word format. If you don't send it, fine. That's all. We have other stories to publish.
So I'm right.
Very right.
I'm right.
Well understood.
Okay, I'm right.
Okay, so.
Point before. Okay. So I think we all know why we are where we are. Yeah. It is that lack of trust between the PR person and the journalist. I think we have come far that shouldn't be the case anymore. We are working together. See yourself as collaborators and not competitors, and we are good to go. Is that okay?
I want to react to that. Sorry. I want to react to that because, in fact, I'm surprised by what you just said. Have you heard during the COVID pandemic about misinformation, fake news? The United Nations referred to it as disinfodemic. So disinformation. In fact, and have you heard about, more recently, about AI, artificial intelligence, and how AI is boosting misinformation? Because any kid can go on AI and say, write me something which seems realistic, which seems right, which seems correct, which seems true about the president of Ghana, which recently died in a plane crash. And make it real, make it sound real. In that context, where for a journal, and not to mention Twitter, the disinformation on Twitter, etc. I mean, you know about that, right? You know about that because you are a reporter, you are a journalist, and if you have been a reporter, if you have been a reporter for long enough, if you were reporters 10 years ago, you know that 10 years ago, when you will see an information on Twitter, when you see an information on Facebook, when you see an information on whatever, you don't have to bother. You don't have to ask yourself, is it real? I mean, because today you don't know. Today you just don't know. Now, in that context, in a context where for a journalist to do his job is becoming way more complicated to differentiate what is fake news, what is real news, let's say. In that context, the link, the relation, the bound, the dependency between public relation and journalism has never been greater. Because the public relation industry is the safest content provider you can find. If you receive a press release from APO, you don't need to wonder, you need to ask yourself if it is a fake news. You receive a press release from the dicastery for whatever, the bishop, the Episcopal Conference, etc. You don't need to wonder if it is a fake news or whatever. That is one of the reasons why you need to establish yourself as an authoritative source for the media. So the idea that the media and the PR people or whatever, no. The PR industry is becoming more and more, and as more as the problem of misinformation is growing, the position of public relation and the content produced and made available by the public relation industry to the media is becoming more and more important. Because it's a beacon of reliability, if you wish. Is it clear? Yeah? Makes sense?
Thank you. You said we shouldn't let our contents remain with the Catholic media.
Sorry, say that again? Oh, yes. Okay.
But we should disseminate them through the general media.
Yes.
That is good. My question is that how do we also build strong and most listened to and watched Catholic media, radio and TV stations, so that even if our contents are distributed through the Catholic media, they will still make the desired impacts? Thank you.
Sure. So obviously, I'm not at all suggesting that we should focus or we should disregard the Catholic media. I'm considering that as additional audience. Again, what I'm saying is that the Catholic media have a Catholic audience. But evangelization is not only a few comments. First of all, I was in Ghana, I visited some media house.